Hi, my name is Corey Minter, and I am president of Trinity Employment Specialists. Trinity's been in business for about 10 years now, and I've been asked to talk just real briefly about how to manage work-life balance and how that's worked for me and how it's not worked for me. I've got I think one of the best ways to know what true work-life balance is to be extremely unbalanced at some point in your life and then get to a place where it's a little more healthy and you start to see how you are in that realm. You know, I've got good friends and they own their own companies, and you can just see it when you have lunch with them. One, trying to get them to lunch is extreme. You know, they want to go, but it's just like one thing after another that keeps them from getting there. And then when they finally get there, I mean, their eyes are just glazed over. Like I had a lunch with the guy. I just got an email from him actually, and I met with him, and I just brought it up. I said, man, it just looks like you're really struggling, and I hate to bring it up, but is there anything I can do to help? And he just admitted to me that he was, but what was happening is that he was struggling with work-life balance, and he was working all the time. But the thing is he was the bottleneck for his company, and I knew it. I could easily see it, but I don't think that he could. So, if I were to give him some advice, I don't think he wanted it that day, so I just listened. But if I were to give him some advice, this is what I would say. And like I said, I'm still working on it a little bit myself, but this is what's helped me more than anything. First thing is, be intentional with what I do. So every morning at 9 o'clock, I have a meeting with my assistant, and we go over and decide what it is that I'm going to do that day. Now, occasionally I may get interrupted, but I make the decision at what I'm doing that day. So the main thing that you need to remember is that you need to be intentional with your day. Do not let your day run you. You run your day. You tell it where to go. And you can do that by creating a calendar. And I think a lot of people are just like, well, a calendar is that any kind of meetings I have, I'll put it on the calendar. And that's not what I mean. You want to time block your time out. So everyone in my entire office knows that from 10 to 12 every morning, I'm doing sales. Don't bother me. That's what I'm doing sales with. I decide that's what I'm going to do. That's when I'm going to do it. I decided. Nothing else comes in the way unless it's an absolute emergency. And come hell or high water, I'm going to do sales from 10 to 12. And then we're going to take a look at my schedule, and we're going to, schedule any kind of lunches. And I'm usually booked out about 2 to 3 weeks in advance for lunches. And I'm going to tell myself exactly what I'm going to do that afternoon. Now, that's what that meeting means for me. So me and my assistant, we meet, and we go over, and I decide what I'm going to get done that afternoon. That's the flexible part. But see, my main sales, I've spent 2 hours on sales already, and so that's how I organize my day. But what I've noticed is when I don't adhere to that schedule, what happens is I'll start out intending to, and I'll have one thing take me off base, or if that day I allowed got-a-minute meetings kill you. It's like, oh, well, hey, I wanted to talk to you about this, and it just completely takes you off your day. So at the end of the day, you're sitting there wondering, well, what in the world did I do? Did I get anything done? And, when you really sit down and think about it, you're like, no, I just answered all these small little things that they probably should have been able to answer themselves. And, I totally get that if that's where you're at. But you've also got to make sure that you're very careful at what you delegate, but make certain that you're delegating enough off and you empower enough of your staff to get certain things done, that you do not become the bottleneck and the go-to guy for everything, because that will stall your company's growth if you're able to do that. And you'll be working all night long and every night. So now I've got a scenario where I don't work every night. My employees do. But I'm intentional with what I do. I'm intentional with when I answer my phone. I've kind of trained my customers on what my schedule is. We do a great job for them, and we go overboard for them. And I do take their calls after hours when I know that it's necessary. But if it's just something random that can wait until Monday, well, I don't want to spend my time with my family to go and do that. And so I'm very intentional with what I've done. And over time, my work-life balance has improved drastically. It's sad when I see my friends who are just drowning. And it's because they're not delegating, and they're not intentional with their day, and they're letting their day run them rather than them run their day. So if you are dealing with these types of things, monitor your God-a-minute meetings. Be very intentional with your time every day, and then make certain that you set limits on what it is that you will and will not do. And when you commit to being the very best that you can be during the hours that you're working, you ought not to have to work all night long. So I hope that this helps you. Please give Trinity a call if we can help you in any way. Our number is 918-622-2588, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com. Thank you.